What if I told you the most magnetic quality of an older man isn't his wealth, his job title, or the silver in his beard? What if the quiet force that draws people to him, the kind of presence that commands respect without a single word, wasn't invented in a modern dating book, but discovered nearly 2,000 years ago in the writings of emperors and Stoic philosophers? Welcome to Stoic Reflections, the channel where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today we're going to uncover 3 unusual Stoic traits that secretly make older men powerfully attractive. These traits aren't about looks, tricks, or shallow charm. They are principles of character that transform a man into a source of calm strength, deep presence, and quiet authority. And when you hear the third one, you'll understand why it's the trait that separates true men from boys. So, let's get started. Trait number 1. Cultivated indifference. Most men misunderstand indifference. They think it means being careless, cold, or emotionally unavailable. But that isn't Stoicism. That's weakness disguised as detachment. Real indifference, the Stoic kind, is not the absence of emotion. It's the mastery of response. It's the ability to remain unshaken while the world trembles around you. Picture this. A younger man has his flight cancelled. He paces back and forth, muttering complaints. He takes out his frustration on the airline staff, vents online, and stews in anger for hours. Or imagine he receives criticism at work. Instead of reflecting, he reacts instantly, defensive, offended, or discouraged. These reactions are common because most men allow external events to dictate their inner state. Now contrast this with the man shaped by Stoic wisdom. His flight gets cancelled, but instead of fuming, he calmly looks for the next solution. When criticized, he doesn't lash out. He listens, weighs the words carefully, and decides if they hold truth. If they do, he adjusts. If they don't, he dismisses them without bitterness. This man isn't numb, he's anchored. He embodies what the Stoics called apatheia, freedom from emotional disturbance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. That's cultivated indifference. It's the discipline of focusing only on what you can control. Your actions, your choices, your character. Everything else, whether the world praises you or insults you, whether fortune lifts you up or strikes you down, is beyond your grasp. And once you see this clearly, you stop wasting energy on what doesn't belong to you. Why is this so magnetic? Because in a world drowning in anxiety and constant overreaction, calmness is rare. People naturally gravitate toward the man who remains steady while others crumble. He becomes the harbor in the storm, the rock in the river, the presence that makes others feel safe simply by being there. His stillness whispers, "No matter what happens, I will not be moved." That's attractive because it communicates power, real power, not the flashy kind that shouts for attention, but the quiet kind that commands it. Cultivated indifference tells the world, "I am not a prisoner of circumstance. I am the master of myself." And there is nothing more magnetic than that. Trait number 2, the power of deliberate silence. If cultivated indifference is about mastering your reactions, then deliberate silence is about mastering your words. And this too is often misunderstood. Many people believe silence means weakness, that if you don't speak up quickly, you'll be overlooked. Younger men especially feel the urge to fill every quiet moment with chatter. They talk to impress, to prove their intelligence, to make sure they're not forgotten. But in doing so, they often reveal insecurity, not strength. The Stoic-minded man understands something deeper. Silence itself is a form of power. He knows that words, once released, cannot be taken back. He knows that to speak constantly is to dilute the value of speech. So he listens first. He observes. He processes. And when he finally chooses to speak, His words land with the weight of consideration. Seneca wrote, "Speech is the mirror of the soul. As a man speaks, so is he." This means that careless words reveal a careless mind. But deliberate words, few in number yet heavy in meaning, reflect a mind that is disciplined, calm, and wise. Think of the difference between a room full of people talking over each other and the one man who waits, then says a single sentence that silences everyone. That is deliberate silence in action. It's not the absence of speech, it's the presence of restraint. It communicates, "I am not desperate to be heard. I speak when I choose, not when I'm forced." Why is this so magnetic? Because deliberate silence radiates confidence. A man who is comfortable with pauses, who can sit in silence without rushing to fill it, demonstrates that he doesn't need validation. He doesn't seek approval through noise. His very stillness creates an aura of mystery, a sense that there's depth beneath the surface. Others lean in, waiting, curious about what he might say next, because they know that when he finally does speak, it will matter. Modern culture rewards loudness, constant opinions, endless arguments, voices competing for attention. But timeless respect is earned by the man who knows when not to speak. He doesn't argue needlessly, he doesn't chatter to impress, and he doesn't allow his words to betray his discipline. In silence, he holds the high ground. This is why deliberate silence is not just attractive but commanding. It signals maturity, inner control, and wisdom. In a world addicted to noise, silence becomes a rare and magnetic strength. Trait number 3, embracing scars. This final trait is the most important one because it separates the superficial from the truly authentic. Every man carries scars, failures in business, broken relationships, regrets that haunt him late at night, moments of loss that cut so deeply he wondered if he'd ever recover. Society tells us to hide these scars. We're told to cover them up, polish ourselves, and present a perfect image to the world. But here's the truth. Perfection doesn't inspire anyone. Perfection intimidates. What really inspires, what truly attracts, is resilience. The man who embraces his scars doesn't see them as shameful reminders of weakness. He sees them as proof that he endured, that he fought battles and survived them. His scars are not disfigurements, they are badges of honor. The Stoics called this practice amor fati, the love of fate. It means accepting everything that has happened to you, not just with resignation, but with gratitude. To say, this too was meant for me. This too has shaped me into the man I am. The older man who has suffered losses, faced rejection, or walked through the fire of disappointment but still stands tall. He is magnetic, because he carries depth that no easy life could ever create. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the essence of embracing scars. The obstacle is not a roadblock, it is the road. Every heartbreak becomes a lesson in empathy. Every failure becomes training for wisdom. Every scar becomes evidence of strength. Why is this so attractive? Because a man who is not afraid of his past is not afraid of the future. He doesn't waste time hiding his wounds. He owns them. He can sit across from someone and speak of failure without flinching, because he knows it did not destroy him, it built him. That kind of authenticity is rare in a world obsessed with filters, illusions, and shallow appearances. The man who embraces his scars radiates authenticity. He is not polished like a flawless statue. He is real, textured, imperfect, and alive. And nothing is more magnetic than that. So, let's step back and look at what we've uncovered. The true magnetism of an older man has nothing to do with the size of his bank account, the title on his business card, or the streaks of silver in his hair. Those things may catch the eye for a moment, but they do not hold attention. What holds attention, what creates a presence that others cannot ignore, are timeless, stoic qualities. Cultivated indifference teaches you to remain calm when others crumble. It is the discipline of focusing only on what you can control and refusing to let the chaos of the world dictate your inner state. Deliberate silence reminds us that true power doesn't shout, it listens. A man who speaks less, but with intention, commands more respect than 1,000 voices trying to out-yell each other. His silence draws others in because it reveals depth, restraint, and self-possession. Embracing scars is the crown of them all. A man who carries his scars openly shows resilience. He proves that what once tried to break him only made him stronger. He doesn't hide his past. He honors it because it forged his character. Together, these three traits form a kind of quiet armor. They protect you not by shielding you from life, but by allowing you to face it with strength and serenity. And here's the beauty. You don't have to wait until you're older to cultivate them. You can begin now. The next time stress strikes, practice indifference. In your next conversation, choose silence over noise. And when you look back at your past, don't curse the scars. Thank them for shaping you. If this message brought you value, do me a favor. Hit the like button and subscribe to Stoic Reflections. Every day we bring you timeless wisdom to help you build a life of strength, clarity, and peace. Until next time, stay grounded, stay resilient, and above all, stay stoic.